Hello, hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Raw Emotions with your girl, B. Brown, the Revolutionary.
And Sunshine Lorena, today is Tuesday, January the 24th, 2023. The year just started yesterday, and we are already almost in Black History Month,
Let's
February,
celebrate.
all day, all year.
I love the beat black.
It's black.
I love the beat black. Love the beat. We ain't gonna take you out there, cause we
She
will.
Boss is a hater on the look. We was vibing, y'all. We was vibing. We gotta make it do what it do.
Well, let's go ahead and get started with the show. We got some topics that we want to attack because, you know, one thing for sure, the journalists and the vloggers will always be in business because there's always some mess going on in the world.
All day, every day, 24/7. I like to say 25/8, 367. That's all the time.
Yeah, it never rests. It never rests.
No,
So,
no.
first, we want to talk about the new gun laws in Alabama. So, if you didn't know, Alabama has now went ahead on and passed a law that anybody can carry.
Reckless.
It's a concealed carry permit system is no longer what it used to be. You don't have to have a gun permit. You can just purchase a gun and carry it. Of course, now let's be real. If you are a felon, you're not supposed to be carrying guns or anything like that. But as we know, the legal activity already goes on. I just feel like now it's going to be a little bit more messy than it was before because if you pull someone over and they have a gun, you just don't really have a right to say, well, can I see your gun permit anymore? So, you know, it may be a violation of their rights to just assume that they can't carry that gun. That's my strong opinion. What you think, Sunshine?
I mean, I'm not going to hold you. I view everything from a black perspective, and with the way that the police deal with black men and black women, I think it's like a very, very dangerous thing because, I mean, although it is their job to protect and serve and to de escalate situations, in turn, when black people have had weapons, were they legally carried or not, they have been unalived. So it just puts me in that realm. It's like, if my black brothers, my black cousins, I have family that live in Selma. So I have family live in Birmingham. So it's like if they were to be legally carrying their firearms, and now that it's just like anybody can carry it, so that the police are like on kind of like a higher alert, a higher alert, I would feel. Do you know what I'm saying? So it's like,
They on higher alert because were they ever even alert?
I mean,
And I don't mean alert. I mean, it's like it was always a high alert for certain ethnicities.
correct. However, it's going to be like doubly so because now you have this law that says anybody can carry.
Right.
Do you know what I'm saying?
And you can still have your permit, which I got my permit maybe a year ago and it's good for 5 years. So I can legally carry in other states that allow you to carry with the permit only. But, you know, I just feel like gun laws should be stricter, period.
Very much so.
We're going to talk about this a little bit later, but let me say, how the heck do a little child get a dang on gun at school and shoot the teacher? And it's another story. that also happened. We're gonna talk about that one as well, where the little child is seen waving the gun in a
Yes.
way. Like, what in the world is going on?
I have no like it. The access to such a dangerous weapon, like the unadulterated access that people have to these weapons, it's just it's like it's asinine to me. Like I think it's in Japan. It takes you about 2 years to be able to obtain a gun.
Well, not in the good old U.S. of A., honey.
It's
This
like
is
you. It's like you see what there was a mass shooting just yesterday. When
mm,
there was one the day before that. There was another one. Like you see what the access, the ready access to these weapons are doing to the citizens of this country, and yet you want more freedom to access these weapons. What do you really what is the thought process?
well, because to me, for one thing, they act like they don't see it as a problem that too many guns in the United States mean too much access. These parents, like, it's getting to the point now where it's not even a big thing for young adults to have guns, and I'm talking about teenagers. So
Very
now
true.
it's trickling down to the little kids got guns.
Very.
The
Do
baby,
you know
the babies
there
got
was
guns. They done found in their mama car.
a 3-year-old here in my city shot his grandmother. A 3-year-old found a gun and shot his grandmother. An 11-year-old was in an altercation with another girl, took a gun and tried to shoot her, but shot and unalived a 14-year-old boy. Like it makes no sense to me. You would think you would want stricter laws because listen, our babies are dying. More often than not, it's these kids that are dying that are being hurt by these weapons. You would think you would want less access and not more access.
This is true. I mean, which also goes into, like we said, these children are now having access to these firearms as well, which I'm gonna go ahead and go into one of the stories where this child is seen with this doggone gun. The baby got a pamper on, okay? I don't mean to laugh, but oh my goodness. You got a
You
pamper on and you waving a gun, honey, like you know what to do.
He remind me of that baby off of Who Framed Roger Rabbit. Remember the baby that
Say,
used to smoke the cigar? That's what he reminded me of, little big old head and everything. Come on now, this is not a movie.
let's
And
go ahead.
who was recording this? Like,
It was a Ring video that caught it. So check this out. Let me get this volume up right quick.
this is insane to me. Get your kids. Get yourself.
Right.
And now to the disturbing video of a toddler waving around a loaded gun inside an Indiana apartment complex. The scene and arrest of the child's father played out on live TV during a reality show following police on patrol in the area. NBC News correspondent Maggie Vespa has more.
Another disturbing example of young children carrying deadly firepower. This time, shocking video of a toddler wielding a gun in Indiana. A neighbor's Ring camera capturing the young boy waving what appears to be a gun and pulling the trigger multiple times before he walks back into his apartment saying, "Mommy." The heart-stopping scare playing out on Real's show On Patrol Live, a reality program following police when they were called to the scene. Officers at one point asking the child where he put the weapon.
Where'd you put down that toy?
then searching for the gun.
Trophy 36, you ran a firearm for me.
The police incident report later confirming it was loaded. Officers arresting the child's father, Shane Osborne, for neglect of a dependent. NBC News reached out to Osborne. So far, no response. In the video, he said the gun wasn't his.
I've never brought a gun in this house.
Something police have not confirmed. This just the latest incident of a minor brandishing a firearm, happening only days after a Virginia 6-year-old shot his teacher on school grounds. In a virtual town hall, officials say at least one administrator knew the student may have had a weapon on him and searched his backpack, but didn't prevent the shooting. According to police, the gun was legally purchased by the shooter's mother. They're looking into whether it was properly secured and haven't ruled out charges. The district taking steps to try and ease fears.
Walk-through metal detectors will be in place and used for all students, faculty, staff, and visitors.
School there remaining closed for a second week. Advocates argue the incidents highlight a widespread risk. Nationwide, the number of school shootings per year has risen steadily since 2010, with a sharp spike in 2021, the last full year for which data was available.
You guys need to be responsible.
That fear boiling over at a Kentucky school board meeting. Parents outraged that a 14-year-old who allegedly posted online death threats against classmates and teachers last October is now returning to school. The teen has been charged with second-degree terroristic threats. The status of those charges is unclear at this time. Just another case in a country struggling to keep schools and kids safe. Maggie Vespa, NBC News.
All right, so y'all heard it.
I got a couple things.
Y'all heard it.
How that baby know how to cock that gun like that?
If you ask me, the baby done been playing with the gun, and the father look like he don't pay attention to nothing.
Baby all outside with a whole big old pistol. Ain't nobody watching a small child. He got to be a small child. He's in Pampers.
To be honest, he look like he too big to be in Pampers.
All right, listen, I was gonna mind my business because maybe he tall.
Well, it is my business to mind, but he look like he too big to be in a pamper baby.
Thanks.
I'm just saying, for real, for real. I said that from the get-go. Why is this big child in a pamper?
Because apparently they're lazy.
That's just another example of these parents quitting parenthood. They ain't even halfway through parenthood. At least at 9, you're halfway through. Baby, you ain't even a third through. And you already done quit parenthood. You just done gave up. You don't even care no more. Like, if you're not going to take care of your children, don't have them, for 1. Use protection, for 2. Or just go ahead and give them up for adoption, for 3.
Yes. All of those. All of those.
This 6-year-old, which, Lord have mercy, they want to always blame stuff on, he has behavioral problems. Pause, which takes me to a basketball game we was at last night. And Gaston City lost by either 1 or 2 points, but at the last 15 seconds, even if it was that, they had a chance to tie the game. And the guy threw the ball, and it went right through his hands. When I tell you, he just stopped and looked. He didn't even hustle to try to even get the ball. He just quit. So he scored. So Chicago scored, and honey, everybody celebrate. So after that, they shake hands, and then they go into their locker room. Well, one of the kids from the game took the table and turned it over and throwed it down, which broke my sister's crock pot, because they feed the children after the games. It broke the crock pot, and it still had a little remnants of it, which they tore the food up, yes. But the fact that he took it into his own hands to take somebody else's property and throw it down and tear it up, and then his coach talking about he just was high in emotions and he's a good kid. I don't want to hear it, because you know what I told him? I said, that is no excuse for bad sportsmanship. See, it's always them parents and them teachers and them administrators and people like y'all that's running around talking about some, well, he didn't mean no harm. Yes, he did. And if he didn't mean no harm, why you didn't go get him and say, you come and you apologize for this situation right now? You know why? Because he's scared of him.
That's what I was going to say. Why because listen, I have a 24-year-old daughter, and I could never fear my own child. That's just something I could never do. You see, a lot of these parents don't comprehend what it is to be an actual parent. They just go off of the BS and a whole bunch of other shenanigans that is beneath everything. It takes a lot of time, energy, effort, self-reflection, and healing to be a real parent. It really does, because you can't raise these kids the way you were raised, and look how you turned out on. I don't want my kids to be like me. I'm not gonna do what my mom, my dad did, but you're doing the same thing. Like, you're doing the same thing. Like, no, that just it's generational BS. It's generational, all of that. Stop making excuses. You have to hold your kids accountable for their actions. You have to hold them accountable for the things they say, the things they do, how they behave. And it all goes with parenting. You can't just, your kid does something wrong and not even comprehend what they did wrong and why comprehension is key.
Right.
Comprehension is key. And I tell people all the time, stop hitting your kids on first instance. Stop trying to dictate to your kids, and just stop that. Take the time to sit and make them understand. When you can make a child understand why their behavior is not right, why they shouldn't behave that way, and they keep them accountable, that raises proper children. That raises better people.
Facts. And may I add, when we get to this situation for the 6-year-old, he had already threatened a teacher before, told her he wanted to set her on fire and watch her die.
Now, why would that be something that you 6, baby boy, you 6? What have you been through in your life to make you think something like that? Because that's not no behavioral issue problems. I'm sorry.
And the teachers union reached out to the administration for help, and they just dismissed it like they dismissed a lot of other things. And I was, watching a situation play out today, which we're going to have to do a story on this, where they're having this situation at a school in Birmingham, Vestavia Hills, where this prominent white family, children, one in particular, a son, is calling a black boy a monkey every single day, to the point where he said he just couldn't take it no more. So he spoke out about it. He thought that he could endure the situation. But his mom ended up going on live and exposing the situation. We'll get more into that on another note, but I just want to put that out there, how they're always dismissing situations, because they dismissed that situation. Now it's a big situation because now it has national attention, when all you had to do was get these people in here and say, look, enough is enough. But a lot of the times when your pockets are being lined by a certain group of people, you don't want to say nothing to them.
Exactly. That's why these kids feel like they can do anything, because no one is correcting these kids. And I don't mean correct them from a place of like anger and frustration. You have to correct them from a place of love, where they're going to be receptive to what you have to say. It's all about them receiving the information. If they cannot receive the information, they cannot process the information properly, they can't comprehend it properly, and they can't change their behavior accordingly. Like, you have to learn how to talk to these kids. That's your problem. Y'all know how to talk to these kids. Y'all think it's, oh, I'm your parent. No, being a parent, it ain't a given. You got to bear your bones to be a parent. You have to do what is necessary. Stop talking at these kids. Talk with your children. Talk to your children. Stop talking at them. Have them understand. Allow them to have a thought process. Allow them to have an opinion. Allow them to have emotions. Sometimes You may not hear what they want to say, and it's all about their delivery as well. You come with me with respect, you don't come with me at all. Because the same way you want to be spoken to and respectfully, you go and do that to me. Because I'm your mama first and foremost. I don't care how you feel about it. Well, once again, respect is earned. You have to be an actual parent so you can raise actual good human beings.
And then they want to send these children to school, torture the heck out of the teachers, expect the teachers to put up with your Michael Myers child. Then you want to come and get in the teacher face and write nasty notes. Pay these teachers $100,000 a year, period, just for having to put up with all this extra foolishness that's going on in the school system as of right now. A lot of the teachers won't even tell you, but I know for a fact that they are scared of these children because they don't want to have to get in a lane where they got to defend themselves.
Thanks. And against not only the child, but the parent. Did you see that 14-year-old boy assaulted his teacher because she took his phone? Did you see? Disgusting. And like no one did anything. No one.
So what are you supposed to do as a teacher? Just sit there and let a child put you in harm's way? Like, all I know is defend. You know what I'm saying? Like, it don't matter who it is. Like, when raw, I got to defend myself. Like, I'm feeling like it don't matter how big you is. I got to make sure I'm okay because you're trying to hurt me.
And more often than not, the children don't have respect for the teachers because the parents tell them they don't have to respect the teachers. They show them that they don't have to respect the teachers. They come up with their children show they whole behinds in a classroom. Act up. Don't, because they ain't got no home training, so they act like they ain't got no damn home training. Then the ratchet behind parents come up there, oh, well, my baby, no. Your baby is a demon, seed of Chucky. Your baby is a terrorist because he terrorized these kids for 8 hours a daggone day. My son misbehaved in class. The teacher called me. She said it happened before. I said, you should have called me the first time because there would have been a this time. She was like, what does that mean? I hear me again. If you would have called me and told me he misbehaved the first time, it wouldn't have been a second time.
What does that mean? Like, use your common sense abilities. Good Lord.
Baby, common sense ain't so common now. You know that. So I spoke to my child one time. Never rose my voice, never threatened him, none of that. I spoke to my child one time, and she texted me not 2 days ago how wonderful he's been since I've spoken to him. Yeah, one time. Never again. That's parenting. I didn't assault, I didn't hit my child, yell at him, but none of that. I had a conversation.
Well, these administrators concerning this child right here have definitely tried to tell them about this terror to the people. And the family says he has an acute disability, and usually one of the parents is in class with him, but was not that week. Like, ain't nobody got to be hovering over you. You might as well homeschool at that point.
But then they also said that he wasn't receiving the educational services that he needed. That he
so guess what? He needed to be homeschooled.
So that means everybody dropped the ball on him. Everybody, the parents, the school, everybody. He should have had an IEP. He should have had all of his services before he should have. And no, it's the parents' fault because he should have had all the services before he entered the school. Period.
Let me read this.
Child.
It says, I am a bus driver. A few weeks ago, a student attacked another driver. 3 days later, the kids was back on the bus. The problem is the administrators. Schools lose funding. Check is exactly what I was talking about earlier that I hadn't brought to the screen yet. But that's the same thing. I said they don't want to throw these children out because they don't want to lose that money. But anyway,
Mm-hmm.
schools lose funding when students are removed, and administrators only care about money. They really don't care about teachers, students, and other school stuff and staff. That's why they are staffing shortages in our school. And another person responded and said this, and it all makes sense. Many years ago, I read an article that sums up as follows. The administrators are afraid of the school board members are afraid of the parents are afraid of the kids, and their kids aren't afraid of nobody. I was a young education student just beginning my very long career when I read that, and I have never forgotten it. It seems to me that, at least in some cases, this little excerpt still applies.
Facts.
Makes sense to me.
Makes sense to me too. I mean, it don't make sense to me. However, it makes sense to me.
Mm-hmm.
Because I could never.
This young child threw furniture and other items around the class, which led to other children hiding under their desk. Then, in another incident, he barricaded the doors to the classroom and prevented a teacher and students from leaving. Like, what is going on here?
Who thinks of doing those kinds of things at 6 years old? Once again, what are these kids looking at? Like, what are they around? What are they being exposed to? Because a 6-year-old just don't think about things like that. He don't think to just bring a gun to school and shoot someone. He don't just think to set somebody on fire. What is going on?
For real. Is the United States not one of the most violent places to be?
He could be watching the news.
Be real, and then on the news, y'all got one country blowing up another country, and y'all airing this stuff every single day, and these parents are watching the news with their children.
We got people firebombing school houses, not 12, 15 blocks from me. They busting out windows and throwing firebombs at people and in their windows. Who does that? Molotov cocktails. Who does that?
Either way it go, they need to get a hold of this foolishness. It's pure foolishness. Things can be done. Things can be put in place. But if you know, like I know, which a lot of people don't, they think I just be talking to talk. I don't talk to hear myself talk, baby. I talk with reason. These people don't care because chaos is money. Okay? Long as there's chaos, there will always be a dollar sign running right behind it. Too much peace mean we ain't got enough money that we can grab a hold or we can dish out. I mean, it is what it is. Let's be real, which goes all the way back into another show. Where in the world did these jail systems come from, and why are they the way they are? Because from the schoolyard to the jail yard, honey, let's be real. Because this young man, I hate to say it, before they put him in a mental institution, they would definitely put him in a jail.
Oh, well, he's too young to go to jail now. He's too young to even go to juvie.
I mean, I thought people with common sense knew that, but I'm saying he will be 18 one day.
Oh, yeah.
He will be tried as an adult.
You should hear how they, throw him in jail. He can't go to jail. He's 6. Shout out. Yeah.
And then also, I learned that if they put the law on the parents and punish the parents, it's only a misdemeanor in Virginia. So you're damned if you do and damned if you don't.
They got to find out if that weapon was secured or unsecured before they can really delve down the charges.
Either way it goes, it still won't be nothing but a misdemeanor. Nothing but a misdemeanor. I don't know what the laws are in Indiana, but I'm glad they went and arrested that father. That too big of a child in a pamper, which the child could just be a big child for their age. But honey, that's a whole nother problem that I definitely can get into. Start potty training these children soon as they start tiptoeing. because they can learn more than, for real, they can learn more than what these parents are putting into their children. They just being lazy, which entails causes the child to be lazy. Sometimes the children want to learn more, but they don't because the parents are too tired from work or they're just lazy.
Or they've been in daycare all day and they can't just, they ain't doing nothing no way.
Well, when I did work at a daycare, I trained a few children how to go to the potty. And the parents were like, how did you get them to do that? Baby, I told them I wanted them to do it and I made it fun for them. And I also let them know that they was being a big girl and a big boy for doing something like that. Like, don't you want to be seen as one of the top tier kids, as a big boy and a big girl? They love that. They want to be seen like they are progressing, honey. But a lot of the time, the parents already done put it right here that they can. Well, come here. Let me coddle you. Let me give you some milk. All right. But then you're gonna send your thuggish, ruggish bone out here in society where us people like me and administrators and teachers and stuff got to deal with them. And Lord, we just have to start a new cycle of trying to break all of them cycles.
Did you call that baby a thuggish, ruggish bone? Did you?
I didn't call the baby that. I called the idea of a child like that a thuggish, ruggish.
You called it a thuggish, ruggish?
Yes.
I'm going to bed. Good night. I'm going to bed. Like, no, I'm going to bed. You guys by yourself.
It's too much. It is just too much, Sunshine. It's too much. Okay. Too much.
I feel you. Yeah, I feel it. It's way too much. It is.
It's too much. All right. Let's get into our next topic. I want to say RIP to the one and only Miss Gangsta Boo. Miss Gangsta Boo, she definitely set a trend. Like, I love Gangsta Boo voice on a record.
Yeah.
I love it. Gangsta Boo voice on a record gives me life. Like, she has definitely been the bar for a lot of females. Let's just be real. People won't, you know what I'm saying, say that, but let's be real. A lot of times when you have an artist, you definitely want to emulate someone else. So she, I'm more than sure, is one of the people that they be like, all right, so let's kick it like Gangsta Boo did. Well, Gangsta Boo passed away January the 1st, 2023. Lord have mercy, going right into the new year. She was 43 years old. But, and I definitely want to let people know that she was the first lady of the 3-6 Mafia. She was also part of another group from 91 to 94 called the Prophet Posse. And she also was a part of the Hypnotized Minds label, which was created by DJ Paul and Juicy J of 3-6 Mafia. I just hate this happened the way that it did because, in my very strong opinion, I don't know if she had a problem with drugs, but I know that Gangsta Boo was definitely indulging in narcotics.
I remember watching Gangsta Boo and her partner Emmett on Marriage Boot Camp, and I really think, mad respect, but I think she had a little bit of a problem, just a little bit.
Well, can you give us a little bit of information from the situation that you saw, and then I'm going to show a clip of the situation, or would you rather just us watch the clip and then talk throughout the clip?
I mean, either or doesn't really matter to me. We can do it anyway. We can talk through the clip if you want to. We can, sure, that's fine. I'll preface it up with there's a series on, I want to say it's VH1 or MTV. It's called Marriage Boot Camp. It features Dr. Ish and Judge Lynn Toller. She is the reason I watched the show. Rest in peace to Big Easy. Yes, her husband's passed away. So rest in peace to him. So it's couples that go on the show. They're trying to reconcile their marriages, their relationships. So I think they spend like 8 to 10 days on the show, like doing challenges, like not challenges, doing exercises to do that, like build trust and togetherness and unload like baggage, things like that. That's what they go on the show for. So Gangsta Boo was on the show with her partner Emmett. I think they've been together for about 20 plus years. They have been together. And throughout the whole show, she had really displayed some kind of she did display erratic behavior. I thought it was like maybe it was because some people aren't used to being on reality TV and they don't not used to having cameras in their faces all the time, like so they're uncomfortable. So I chalked it up to that. However, on the one episode where they were supposed to be taking lie detector tests, the production crew found a substance in their living quarters in the room that she shared with Emmett, and then everything just went downhill from there. Yeah. She met up with Dr. Ish. They had a whole conversation. Like her behavior was just like from 0 to 1,000,000, like instantaneously. So you knew there was a bit of guilt in what was going on in the entire situation.
Well, so had she been that way throughout the whole show?
Throughout the whole show, she was very abrasive talking to her partner, talking to Emmett. Like the way she spoke to him was not kind at all. Her behavior, she could be chilling 1 second and turn the next, and just talking like is that why are you talking about that? Like, what's going on? So it was just like she displayed a lot of behaviors that were not conducive to her being sober. Not off of like no alcohol or no weed. Like she was just, it was strange.
Okay, well, let's get into this marriage boot camp clip that we have, and we're going to watch it and we're just going to talk about it throughout. Okay.
Now, this is when she found out that everything had been moved out of their room. I don't believe they knew that production was going to be in their quarters. So that's why it was a bit of like, you know what I'm saying?
Okay. All right.
Is the video?
Oh, wait just a second. Wait just a second. Let me get it going here.
And then the whole thing of it was like, production never said where they found the substance, and she knew exactly. You know what I mean? Like it was just too much.
Right.
See, it ain't done.
All right, so let me do it another way because I'm not sure exactly why it's not coming through that way. They did change something. They changed something. So let me do it this way right here, and we'll rock and roll that way. Okay.
Okay. I don't know. Have you ever heard of the show Marriage Boot Camp before? It's been on for a couple seasons.
I have heard of marriage boot camp, and I haven't watched it like that, but I definitely have seen what be popping.
Yeah, that season it was. I don't know. It had turned into something because before it was just strictly like married couples. Now they have couples that are dating on there, engaged couples. Like on that season, there was K Michelle was on there with her partner. If you know who Mariah Lynn is, she made that song Once Upon a Time not long ago. Rich Dollars was on there, so it's like a lot of different mix and matches on the show.
Right, so let's go ahead and do it like this then.
Somebody don't want us to be great. Like,
Well, I don't know. They have changed something up, and maybe it's something that I'm not doing. I'm just gonna do a screen share though.
okay.
Because one thing about your girl is multifaceted. Okay.
Tech savvy. Tech savvy.
Okay, because y'all can see that, right?
Period.
I'm like, they got my stuff just sitting out. Like, hell no, this ain't cool. They got me up.
They didn't know what was going on.
What's happening there?
There was like a boss Aaron.
All right, so at this very moment, she had approached, I guess her room, and they had took her belongings out, right, and set it up at the side table. And once she discovered they was gone, she was upset about that, right?
Well, she had noticed that some things from the room, because they didn't know that they were going to be doing the polygraph test in their rooms. And they also didn't know they were going to be removing items from the room. And she had left a particular item in her room. So that was the problem.
Okay, and this way you can see the tech team then discovered something. Let's watch.
We know it's something. Students who pass nobody touched it. Copy that.
What's going on?
If it is what I think, they might have violated the rules of the house when it comes to contraband.
We got a handle.
Contraband.
So while setting up the polygraph equipment, our crew found a suspicious substance on Boo and Emmett's side table next to her jewelry box. It was behind a lamp, and when that lamp was moved, it was laying there in plain sight. This is a serious thing, and we need to figure out exactly what that is before we allow any access back into that room.
Mm-hmm.
It's like a bag of cocaine or meth to me. One or the other.
He said cocaine or meth to me.
It's like about
Yeah, that's exactly
looks
what
like
he
it was
said.
about a gram of whatever it was. It's pretty clear. I'm just putting a light on it. Yeah. Very, very clear.
Very, very clear. So it's one or the other.
Mm-hmm.
Now that I've investigated, it has become abundantly clear that either Gangsta Boo or Emmett has brought contraband into our house. Not only did Boo or Emmett violate the house rules, but now I'm actually worried for their health and safety. I know these couples came here for a relationship program, but as a medical doctor, I can't just ignore what I found. So my immediate concern is how much are we using, and are you able to stop me?
Okay,
Exactly.
so that was very telling
Mm-hmm.
that he even said that before she passed away from an overdose.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I'm not sure if she had got a hold of some bad stuff
Because there's much.
or it was an overdose, But
Right.
I'm thinking this is not something that's new. It's something that, she's been doing. So, she maybe wouldn't know her limit. But let's be real. The older you get,
Mm-hmm.
the more your
Exactly.
body cannot handle these chemicals.
Mm-hmm. And then I would think that she would have like, why would you risk that? Why would you risk bringing that kind of contraband to the house if you really didn't have a problem?
Exactly, because I was just fixing to say, what do you mean? Risk. It isn't a risk, it is a need. I got to have what I have, so I'm going to bring it in regardless to what is going on around me. Don't they check them like they
Exactly.
frisk? So she left it there.
They checked their belongings and everything. So
all right, well, let's keep watching.
Because if you can't stop here, that tells me you've got a problem with this at home.
I wanted to just go and get my jewelry box.
Exactly.
It's like a black box. Could you just bring that black box to me so I miss my rings in it?
now, mind you, they never said.
I need my jewelry, my expensive jewelry. I need my box out.
Say what?
They never said where they found it, what they found it in, where they found it, any of that. And she automatically said, I need my jewelry box. And she described the exact place where it was.
All right, let's keep going.
I would have put that in my bag. And I would have had my jewelry on me, my rings that I've been talking about. So that's wrong. Now I'm like very angry. So I'm gonna go smoke a cigarette, and I need to get in there and get my jewelry box. So hopefully if my jewelry box moves, they got me real up. I just need my jewelry. That's what I need. And I'll do whatever y'all got me to do. I've been up working. I need my jewelry box though. None. It's just like it's like they move around. It's like I want my jewelry. Like I didn't know my was gonna be moved all around.
Sadly, Gangsta Boo's behavior is not new to me. Her nervousness about locating her jewelry box, which just happens to be right next to the lamp, which just happens to be right next to the baggie we found, tells me everything I need to know. My first concern is to make sure she's okay. But at the same time, she and Emmett have broken the house rules. Either way, it's time to have a hard conversation.
I just don't like. It's just frustrating.
Yeah.
Yes, when you can't have access to your stuff.
Yeah. I understand, man.
There's nothing I can do, but I'm not mad. I'm just voicing my opinion.
For sure.
That's what they've been telling people to do since we've been here.
For sure.
So I'm being vulnerable.
Emmett, so let's go chat. You got it. Go ahead, fill it out.
Yeah.
Here's where we are.
Hold on before he start this conversation. So, what do you think about her behavior, Sunshine?
That's what I'm that. Guilt make you tilt. She knew what it was. She knew what she knew what she had. She knew what she brought in. She knew where she left it. If she would listen, if she would have known what they was finna do, they would never know what she had going on. That's how I feel. Because they had no, this is like the episode before last. They made it all of those days, all that time, and no one knew anything. The only reason I was suspect about her behavior and her choice of intake was because of her behavior. Not because I had seen her doing anything suspicious, like going like this and blowing her nose. She displayed none of that behavior, none of it. But there, I was like, y'all, oh, come on, sis. Like, it's the day before y'all leaving.
I know, right? I hate that for her. Well, let's get back into it.
In your room, setting up the drill, the lie detector, moving some things around. They went to that table where there was a lamp on it. Moved the lamp. And beside the lamp, found a baggie with a white powder substance. Don't know what it was. Don't know whose it is.
Oh my God.
Tell me what it is.
I don't know what that is and what y'all talking about. For real. I've been like, I honestly don't know at all. And if it's like this at this point, man, I'm just like, I'm over it. I don't have nothing on me. They searched everything if it's something in old clothes or whatever. But do you want to vouch for that? Like, I literally don't even know. We on mic right now. I'm done with it. I'm just done. Like,
So how did they get there?
I don't know. I don't even know what's in there. I wanted my jewelry. I don't even know. They searched everything.
It was next to that.
My box of jewelry. The thing is, they searched me, everything. So I don't know. If I can see it could be something old. I don't know. And it's not okay to be accused of something.
I'm not accusing you. Can I actually
Man, this is some weird shit.
Can I ask you a
question? For me.
Look at her behavior.
Has this ever been a problem before?
Man, Dr. Ish.
Something that you've addressed before? Just in personal life?
Dr. Ish, I came to marriage boot camp for me and Emmett.
Right.
Not none of this. And it's making me uncomfortable.
Would you like to help me?
Are you ready to go? Hold on. What I like what?
I said if that's an issue. If substance has been an issue for you in the past, okay? I'm not saying it has been. I'm not saying it hasn't been. But if it has been, and once you leave here, you feel like that's something you would like to further address, I have some recommendations for you. Okay, I'm gonna pass that to you.
Thank you.
Okay?
Thank you.
Because here's the thing. Because here's the thing. This doesn't have to run your life. Whatever
what are you doing?
Because I came here for marriage boot camp.
And we're here.
But
It's
Emmett,
the last day. You want to leave?
But Emmett, they found everything has Emmett. When the dude said that he was
Right, but they didn't. That's all they said. They
Emmett,
didn't say
said I
anything.
was-
Everything else is you, man. You're saying
Man,
let's leave.
Dr.
You're
Emmett,
saying these
Dr.
things. They didn't say we have to
Dr.
leave, man.
Yes or no? We have to leave, right? Coming up.
I mean, her behavior to me completely erratic. Completely.
And it stuck out to me that she knew the rules. She kept saying,
Exactly.
"We got to go. We got to go. We got to go." Right? I
Mm-hmm.
so hate this for Gangsta Boo. Like now she's gone. I got a lot of respect for Gangsta Boo. Gangsta Boo was like one of the first female rappers to come out with a hit, and it was grungy. It was everything that 3 6 Mafia was. And I just hate this for her because we all know 3 6 Mafia they got a long history of doing a lot of things. So we
Mm-hmm.
know this. We know this.
I just wish she would have used the help that Dr. Ish was providing to her.
And who knows? Maybe she would
Maybe,
have for the new year, but she didn't know that her time was going to be cut short.
but it was like maybe, and then sometimes I say all the time, people do things even subconsciously for cries for help.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? And it's just like, you've been doing this however long you've been doing this. So you know what it is. You know how to behave, what to do or not to do, where to leave things, not to leave things. And you just leaving things around. So it's like, was it really like a cry for help?
Right. Yeah. So definitely, you know, I hate when things like this happen because, yeah, because things like this, they're not a good look, especially when this is the last image that the people see of you. I still got respect for Gangsta Boo. I really just hate this happen. And she did an interview. If you go check out Drink Champs, she did a last interview on Drink Champs, and it was a little telling as well, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
Um, she was still in denial. She was still in denial because when you use a substance for so long and you're handling the situation, when
Mm-hmm.
you are caught, like you don't
That
want
deep
it to, I got a problem, and because if it's something you can't, live without, then you got a problem. That's just what it is.
facts. And apparently she couldn't live without that for I think they're on the show literally for 10 days. 10 days. They're in the house for 10 days. So that seems like a problem. And I wish that she really would have gotten help because there are many people that love her and miss her. So it's like, I wish she would have gotten help.
Like when I heard about the situation, I was just like, no.
I
But
was like,
I'm
I just
not gonna lie, that was first things
yes, most definitely. Most definitely. That
I
was one
thought
of the
about.
first things I thought. That was the first thing that I thought. And it's sad to say, however, like I live in reality and I know people do what they do. And the last image I saw of her was of her with her issue. So it's like,
Yeah.
and then the way they found her was just also telling. So
Oh my God. Oh Lord. I don't have any clips of the situation, but I read numerous articles, and
yeah.
it said they found her on the porch,
Hmm.
deceased, and there
And
was substance in the
that
vicinity.
it's like, did she die by? And that's one of the things that like it's hurt can be hurtful too. Like, was there anybody there with her? Did someone try to help her? Was someone there to comfort her as she took her last breath, or did she die alone on a porch?
I don't
Like,
think. Well, you know what? If anybody was there, they probably ran.
facts. Did anybody call for help? It's like
I
it's
don't
it's,
think so,
it's
Sunshine.
sad.
I think it was just a situation, and by her being Gangsta Boo, I'm sure she got people that come by all the time. She'll always be a legend. She a legend.
She's stamped. She's a pioneer. Like she's royalty. That's stamped.
Yeah, she is hip hop royalty, honey.
Come on,
And
you say 3-6 Mafia. What it do?
I don't care what happened in their group, the reason why she had left at some point in time, she'll always be Gangsta Boo of 3-6 Mafia.
Period.
Maybe I should do a small video or something on that situation as well to talk about, Gangsta Boo more in depth, because she was more than just this situation. Gangsta Boo was a hardcore female rap artist.
Thanks. Give that queen her flowers.
Yes, most definitely. I just wanted to bring this story to the light to let people know, if you have a problem, don't be afraid to seek help. And you may not even know you have a problem. But I'm going to tell you how you know you got a problem. If you can't go 10 days without your substance. Yep, you have a problem. All right, well, let's get into this story. One story of definite glory that has been all over the internet. And, I want to pull up this right here. Okay, so on January the 3rd, I put up, God can do extraordinary things. Keep praying for Damar. Everyone knows that Damar was on the field playing when he just definitely passed away on the field. And it was one of those things that happened where he got hit in the wrong spot at the wrong time. And it was like a glitch. So he had, it put him into cardiac arrest, right? However, I know God to be able to do some extraordinary things. Like, don't never discount what God can do for you. And that's why I put that up there. Like, when they were saying everything they were saying, that's why I said what I said, because I know for a fact, I didn't know exactly what was going to happen to this young man, but I knew that with the way the world was praying for him, let's not even think about that he may not be here anymore, because his heart stopped beating twice.
Yes.
He basically died on that field, y'all. And matter of fact, he died 2 times. And guess what? They brought him back. Well, fast forward to January 24th, Damar Hamilton is now in Buffalo, y'all. He is at the hospital. Look at him. Just look at what God can do and look at him. Now, let me show y'all this. Now, but Damar, now let me tell you, don't do too much now. Don't do too much.
Don't be thinking y'all had grown in these streets, sir.
Right. He was at the game.
Down, young man. Sit down somewhere.
Yes, honey. He is, thinking about his career.
But that's morale. That's like you saw the heartbreak on every player's face. And to have him there, like, that's an energy booster. That's a morale booster. That's like, my man is okay. We're doing it for you because you can't do it. Like, that's love.
Right. And they won that game too.
Facts.
But let's check out this clip, y'all. Where Damar was being taken on the field.
Looks like Damar Hamlin is in the building. Yes, if they show him in the stadium in any capacity, it will blow the doors off of this place. Damar Hamlin just showed up, and it looks like his mom and his little brother is there. Oh, we love to see it. Stay tuned. It's the Bengals, Bills, coming up on CBS. Good job,
mama.
That is amazing, y'all. That's why, listen, I'm not telling you you got to be holier than thou, but I'm going to tell you one thing. If you want something in this world and you want it done, even if you don't think it can be done, go to God with it. Just go to God with it.
You pray to. Whatever God you pray to. Like for real.
Yes, because God can do some things that man just can't do, baby.
That's facts. That's
But
amazing.
I'm so happy to see that he is up,
Yes.
walking like y'all. Like, I don't care to show the video. Sunshine.
No, it was so scary. It was just so like everybody was like, well, he didn't even get hit like that. And then like I watched the cardiologist, like that was just like one of the most amazing things that could have ever happened in that moment. Like that bit of contact when your heart beat a particular way and you're down on the field for 9 minutes. Like, and thank God they were doing CPR because that kept his blood, the oxygen flowing through his brain. You know what I'm saying? So that like gave him a little bit more leeway. You know what I mean? So it was wild. It was wild in a very negative way. It was wild.
Most definitely. Most definitely. And I'm just happy that this young man get to see another day. He's not going to be one that we have to bury.
Thanks. Because there have been a
I'm glad
couple.
to see that.
Yes, there have been a couple of young men, 31-year-old, 34-year-old, dying of heart attacks and strokes. Football players, ex-football players. So yes, it is a blessing that he made it through that ordeal.
That's right. Well, Sunshine, we got one more subject before we end this wonderful, wonderful show for tonight. We're going to talk about the dangers of vaping. Yeah. Okay, so let's just be real. Vape shops have popped up everywhere in the United States. Like, to be honest, ever since I heard this lady speak about the dangers of vaping, I have seen vapes everywhere. Like, I wasn't really looking for them like that, but now that I have heard what this lady had to say about vaping, it's like the vape shops that I see are just limitless. Do you hear me?
Oh,
And people are vaping.
They're all over here. I mean, all over. All over.
And they think it's better than cigarettes when it's not. Like, to be honest, before I got educated, I thought it was better than cigarettes. Little did I know, because what you're inhaling is chemicals, numerous chemicals. Some of the chemicals they don't even know that's in this vape juice. So
I'm mad that you said the word juice like that. That's it. That's all.
well, I'm just gonna go right into this video then. It's this lady from the health department. She came to our church and spoke about the dangers of vaping because we had Youth Sunday. And with that being said, she got into some really, really heavy stuff. So with that being said, let me just go ahead and let you guys check out this video, because she definitely educated the adults and the kids. I had no idea that this type of stuff was going on.
And I have been with the health department for about 18 years. Been through several different programs, and I'm very pleased to be working with the youth right now with educating you on the hazards of tobacco, but specifically vaping. I also go out and do presentations for adults too. So this is going to be kind of a combination between speaking to youth and also speaking to adults, okay? It's a little bit different when I talk to the adults. I don't give them all of the secrets that I give the I don't give all of the youth secrets that I give the adults. So before we get started, I'm going to try to pretend like I'm not in church right now, okay? And I'm actually at a conference and we're giving a presentation because I got some jokes for y'all that I promise.
I'm gonna skip just a little bit so we can get right.
Chewing tobacco. Adults, I definitely want to make sure that you all know what a vape is. Unfortunately, vapes come in all different shapes and sizes and colors, okay? They get difficult for adults to actually understand what a youth might have. So this is the first vape that came out, supposedly. This was like a Juul. Juul is what we call also vaping, but Juul was actually the first company that came to the United States with this product, okay? When they came to the United States with it, because it's not regulated by the FDA, Food and Drug Administration, they do not have to tell you what's actually in their product, okay? As of today, Juul is the only vape company that is regulated by the FDA. So you should not see Juul products on the market anymore, okay? My hope is that all the other vape companies will have to follow suit with the FDA and they will all have to be pulled from the market. The reason is, okay, can somebody tell me why vapes were created?
I don't even know.
It was created to help adults to stop smoking, okay? It is good, it is useful in that aspect, okay? But for every one adult that picks up a vape to try to help them stop smoking, 80 youth start vaping. That statistic is not worth it for me. I would rather that one adult that's a smoker find another way to stop smoking than for 80 of you guys, 80 youth to start vaping, okay? Vapes are not healthy for adults or youth, all right? However, they're more harmful for youth than they are for adults. The reason is because your brains do not fully develop until you're about the age of 25, okay? Most of the youth, all of the youth that I talk to, none of them are over 25. None of them, okay? Statistically, if you start using tobacco products before you're 25, 99% of you will continue to be adult tobacco users. 99%. That's how much it changes your brain, and it is such an addiction that it is very difficult to stop. They have interviewed adult tobacco users and asked them if they had to do it all over again, would they make a different decision? And 70% of them said yes. They wish they had never, ever put a tobacco product to their lips. They had never used a tobacco product. So learn from them and don't be one of those adults that is still using tobacco products after you're 25, okay? I encourage you to stop as soon as possible. And I'm going to go over some different ways, some different techniques and stuff that you can use. So we'll get back to these vapes in just a second. So I told you that Juul was the first company that came to the United States, and they told the FDA that there were only 7 chemicals in their product. That was a total lie, okay? They did not have to tell the FDA exactly what all was in there because they weren't regulated yet, all right? Juul came into the United States 16.
Wait a minute. So they only said it was 7 chemicals. Okay. So please pay attention to this one part. They told them that it was only 7 chemicals in the vape. Okay.
Turn it up, boss. Turn it up.
I need to turn it up a little bit.
Turn it up so they can hear, so the people can hear.
All right.
What's really going on in the vape?
Seems like it's been a lot longer, but it's only been 16 years. It took 14 years for the FDA to regulate Juul. They've only been regulated for 2 years now, okay? The reason that they did is because 85% of the youth go for flavored tobacco products, okay? They used to have at one point some flavored cigarettes that came into the market. That was quickly pulled as well because they saw that youth started using the product and they weren't even smokers to start with, okay?
Thanks.
So they told the FDA that there were 7 chemicals in their product. As of today, our scientists have actually already found over 80 chemicals that are in there. And they're still claiming 7, okay? We've got adults too.
80 chemicals, honey. 80 chemicals. 80 chemicals,
So how you
and they
go
still
from
claiming.
how you go from 7 to 80? That's a big gap.
And guess what? They're still only claiming 7. Let's keep it
It may
going.
not be. Once we identify all of those chemicals that are in there, we may realize that vapes are actually worse than smoking tobacco, smoking a cigarette, okay?
See that?
I also hear youth say there's no tobacco in vapes. I hear adults say that as well. I know companies that have a no tobacco policy, that does not apply to vapes because there's no tobacco in vapes.
Well, let's be real. Everybody that really understands what's going on here, and you're not a sheep, it's not the tobacco. What's in it that's
Fact.
causing you to be addicted, Sunshine?
Exactly. There's in cigarettes alone, there's arsenic, there's embalming fluid, there's fiberglass, there's all kinds of
No,
chemicals in
what
cigarettes.
is the main ingredient that causes people to be addicted?
Oh, the menthol.
The nicotine.
Nicotine? Yeah, the nicotine. Yeah, a lot of people are addicted to the nicotine, the menthol nicotine as well.
And the menthol is basically a overlay of peppermint
Mhm.
to make you feel like nothing is harming you. But anyway, let's let her finish talking.
Tobacco is not the problem. Can anybody tell me what the problem is? Nicotine. Good answer. Y'all are good. Nicotine is the problem. Nicotine comes from the tobacco leaf. Okay, that's why vapes are a problem. Is because they contain nicotine. They actually contain more nicotine than what is in a cigarette. The vape companies want y'all to become addicted so fast. They do it intentionally. They put more nicotine in there to get you addicted so much faster. Okay. So in the process of educating you guys, we're also educating adults, such as the example that I gave of company policies being a no tobacco policy, but not a no nicotine policy. Tobacco is not the problem. Remember, nicotine is the problem. So there's 3 major things that nicotine and these other chemicals specifically do to a youth body. Okay. Number 1 is they permanently change your brain. Permanently. That cannot come back, okay? Which means once you start using these products, you change your brain a little bit at a time and a little bit more at a time. You can't ever get back to where it was to start with.
Did you hear that? That's enough alone to just say leave it alone.
That's like when people be smoking them, you know what them dippers are?
Yeah.
Wet. That's what that sounds like.
Yeah. They cousins for sure.
Embalming fluid.
Yeah. Let's keep it going.
And y'all are our future, okay? We need your brains to be the best that they can be. The second thing that it does for y'all is it causes anxiety and depression. It does not alleviate anxiety and depression. It causes it and it makes it worse. That's not to say that if one of your friends has anxiety or depression, that means they must be vaping, okay? That's not what that means. But if somebody already has anxiety and depression and they tell themselves, and the nicotine tells them, which lies to their brain, that this product is making them feel better, it's a lie and it's only a temporary,
makes it worse.
temporary band-aid, okay? The third thing that it causes is it causes, obviously, health issues with your body, okay? Causes mood disorders. Some popular mood disorders right now are anxiety, depression, schizophrenia, bipolar, a laundry list of those, okay?
No wonder these kids crazy.
So what, Sunshine?
No wonder these kids want to be acting crazy. Vaping.
Exactly. This puts it in perspective.
Child.
For real. Bipolar, depression, schizophrenia is enough.
Look at these kids with the abundances of like ADHD, well ADD. Like they put all these kids on all kinds of medicines because they have all these problems now. Could it be the vaping people? Your kids vape?
Do you even know? because they make them to a point now where you can't really tell. But she's gonna get into that. I'm gonna probably end up skipping to that part.
I believe that if we were to look at all of the youth that have anxiety issues, depression issues,
She just said it.
behavior issues, acting out of class, those issues, I would like to see how many of them were actually using vape products, using the nicotine products, okay? Because it makes those situations worse.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like we have kids that are misdiagnosed with depression
Okay,
and
she
anxiety
finna pull
and
them out
other
now.
diagnoses that if they looked at it harder, it may not be something of that nature. It may be something that's fixable, okay? Something that they can stop. All right. So this little vape right here, it's actually a little bit bigger than the first one that ever came. I don't have one of those yet because they're not on the market anymore, remember? So the first one was a little bit smaller.
It's the $10 one, y'all.
They don't
The
tell
green
you
one.
on the packages that you see in the convenience stores, they don't tell you how many packs of cigarettes it equals. Do y'all know why? They don't want you to know how much that actually equals cigarettes. These things are so tiny, they're so deceiving, okay? The original one would look like a jump drive, like you would put into your computer. That was equal to 1.5 to 2 packs of cigarettes. That's 30 to 40 cigarettes in one little bitty pod, okay? Youth are going through these small pods in a day.
Yes, they are.
In a day. I know adult chain smokers, and I have talked to them, and I have gotten confirmation that an adult chain smoker pretty much gets in 2 packs a day. Some upwards to 2.5 and 3, but most of them it's 2 packs a day. That's considered a heavy chain smoker, okay? Well, youth, y'all are doing this right out of the gate. You weren't even using tobacco products to start with, and you start puffing on this all day long, 200 puffs. By the end of the day, you're done, and you have smoked 1.5 to 2 packs of cigarettes. Tell me how you possibly could think that that is not going to change your brain.
I know
It is
that's
going
right.
to change your brain quickly, more quickly than it does an adult, because remember, your brains are not fully developed, okay? So, if we say that the typical Juul is 1.5 to 2 packs of cigarettes, if you were in a classroom right now, you would be taking a little survey for me, and that would be one of your answers, 1.5 to 2. But I'm going to show y'all some of the other vapes that are out there and how much they actually equal to. And I want y'all to share this with your friends, okay? Share this with adults as well. Because I have been shocked, I guess, for lack of a better word, at the adults that don't understand vapes either. Just yesterday, I was in the beauty shop with my daughter getting her hair cut, and one of the workers came out from the break room, vaping, blew it right in the air in front of all of us. Adults don't understand that that is the same thing as smoking a cigarette. You see the cloud that comes off from the vape, okay? You see the cloud that comes off of cigarettes, right? It's called secondhand smoke. Well, it's called secondhand aerosol when it comes from a vape.
Aerosol.
Okay? So we cannot smoke cigarettes inside anymore, can we? That was what, in the 80s? Like 80s maybe, early 90s, when you couldn't smoke anymore inside. But adults think it's okay to use this inside because it's just a flavored juice, right? It's just cotton candy, blueberry, coffee, smells good. My friends like the way it smells, but you cannot do it inside. I've personally been to the BJCC at a concert, and people were vaping in the BJCC because I can see the clouds coming up, okay? My daughters don't like it when they're with me because I have to say something. I can't keep my mouth shut. So thankfully there was a one of the workers coming down that had already seen it, and he told her you can't vape inside. So we have got to do a better job of educating adults also that if you're going to vape, that's your choice. But you cannot do it inside. Okay? Can't vape inside. So all of
that. And just think about how they be vaping around their little babies.
Child. Because they do it all the time. You see them sit with the strollers. Oh, they either blowing the marijuana smoke or that vape smoke. And they don't. And it's like you don't even think what chemicals are in there. It ain't just water.
To be honest, I don't think nobody thought about it, Sunshine.
They
I
should
don't
have.
thought about it. Let's keep it going.
These vapes that I have right here were actually taken off of youth in the school system in St. Clair County. I have a whole bag over there. This is just one of each of the different sizes that was taken. This one right here is pretty much the one that youth are using right now. Okay. This is, I told y'all the package only tells you how many puffs, right? So this is a 1900 puff vape, okay? 1900 puffs. To most of you, that doesn't mean anything, does it? But it is after today. So what you do is, to find out how many packs of cigarettes is this equal, you take off one of those zeros from your puffs. That's 190. You divide that by 20 because there's 20 cigarettes in the pack. Correct?
Mm-hmm.
Yes. So I'll do the math for you, and you get 9.5 packs of cigarettes. You won't see an adult walking around with 9.5 packs of cigarettes, but you'll see everybody. You'll see lots of people walking around with something like this and not realizing that it's 9.5 packs of cigarettes. Another thing which is bad for those of us that wish vaping was never created is the fact that they don't cost that much either. This is $10.
Mm-hmm.
9.5 packs of cigarettes is a lot more than $10. Last time I checked, a pack of cigarettes was about $6. Some are 10 now. We'll go with 6 to 10 now. The generic and the good ones, right? So they're not expensive, so it's very easy for you to purchase these.
It's been a while since she.
Baby, she said $6. Okay, let me tell you something about the great city that I come from. If you go to a reputable store, that means you're getting real cigarettes because there are real cigarettes in these streets and there are fake cigarettes in these streets. Okay?
And
if you go,
okay, what makes it fake? How
because
is it fake? It ain't real tobacco.
it's the fake cigarettes have different chemicals in them that are that they're it child, and you can tell the difference.
The seeds got chemicals.
You can tell the difference.
But the way that the tobacco is cured.
Listen, all I know is it ain't the same. You can even the smoke smells different. You can know who's smoking a real cigarette, who's smoking one of them funny cigarettes. Not that funny cigarette, but them funny cigarettes. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, them fake things. Now, to get a real pack of cigarettes, listen. $13.25. If you go to a semi-legit store, that means you might get a real pack. You might get a fake pack. The world may never know. They like $10. You go to these little vape spots, these little 24-hour stores, you can catch a pack of cigarettes in the city for $9. In the county, like $7, $8.
And you know why they start making the fake ones, right? They start making the fake so they can start capitalizing and making more money off of the fact that people are buying these cigarettes at a rapid speed. So if I can produce a cigarette pack to you and sell that good old boy for about $10 and I only pay $2 for it, my profit is larger.
That's why folks go down south. But I don't judge me by the people in my neighborhood. The people in my neighborhood, in my Sesame Street voice. Okay? I just happen to know some nefarious type individuality. I do digress. I know folks that take trips down south, buy cartons of cigarettes. A carton of cigarettes here is like over $100.
What?
You buy a carton, girl. You buy a carton of cigarettes down south for like maybe $40, $50. What? 60. That is a carton of cigarettes contains 20 packs of cigarettes. Okay. You spent maybe $50 on them 10 packs of cigarettes. You sell each one of them packs of cigarettes because you're going to knock out the top board, but they real cigarettes. So you're going to knock out that, maybe you're going to knock out that $1.25. So instead of $13.25, you're selling a pack of cigarettes for $12. I'm going to go to the $12 man and say my dollar and some change. So you're making so much money off that one carton of cigarettes. So yeah.
Well, it's 20 packs. You're making $200 if they're $10 each. So just put that in your pipe to smoke.
Exactly.
Okay. All right, let's finish listening to some of this, what she has to say, because people, I hope people really watch this video and get into it, because Lord have mercy.
Their own money. Okay, it's not like they need parents' money. Unfortunately, a lot of the youth get their vapes from their parents. Their parents don't understand the significance of it either. Okay, listen to this statistic: 51% of the calls that go into poison control are from kids in the household that have gotten a hold of their parents' refillable vape juice. They do not have a child cap on them, child-proof cap on them, because why? They're not regulated by the FDA. So it's easy for a child to take the lid off and drink it because it smells good and it tastes good. 51% of the calls to poison control are for youth or for children in the home getting a hold of their parents' vapes. Parents, if you vape, put your juice out of reach of the children, okay? So the next one is, this one is 3,000 puffs. So remember, take off a 0, that leaves you 300, divide by 20, and you get 15. This is 15 packs of cigarettes. That's a carton and a half of cigarettes. And youth go through these. These usually last more than a day, but 3 or 4 days. And you have put all of those chemicals into your body
That
rapidly,
fast.
okay? Your body is already exposed to some of the chemicals that are in here. I'm going to tell you about some of them in a second. Your body's already exposed to them, but the problem is your body is exposed to them through food, okay? The food goes to your stomach where there's all those acids in there that break down those chemicals and get them out of your body. The chemicals that are in these vapes, where does the chemicals go as soon as you take a puff? Into your lungs. There's nothing supposed to go into your lung except for clean, healthy air. Okay? All right, the next one. This one is 5,000 puffs. And you see how tiny they are. And most people can even keep them in their hands, and really people don't really see it, you know? But this is 5,000 puffs, which means it equals 25 packs of cigarettes. There's 10 packs in a carton, so that's 2.5 cartons of cigarettes. And guess how much this little thing right here costs? $18. Somebody knew. You heard that, right? Somebody knew it was $18. Yes, $18. And the
$18 for the juicy bar.
For 25 packs of cigarettes, you pay $18. Ciao.
No wonder these children acting the way they acting.
You know what nicotine, it makes you want just like having heart palpitations and whatnot.
last one is 6,000 puffs. I didn't even know that these things went that high until I started doing this. But 6,000 puffs, you do the math, you get 30 packs of cigarettes for $21. 31 packs of cigarettes. You won't buy a carton of cigarettes for $21, much less 30 packs. So I want y'all to remember specifically, if nothing else, that I'm telling you how concentrated these products are, okay? You look at something tiny and you don't realize exactly how much is in there because they don't want you to know. They don't want you to know. Well, unfortunately, there's other methods out there to get nicotine into your system when you're at school because it's harder for your teachers to see. Now, they take vapes to school, don't get me wrong, At my children's school, they have vape detectors now in the bathrooms.
Now, have
Y'all
you
have
ever
those?
heard of that, Sunshine?
Never.
They have vape detectors.
A vape detector, honey. I
Never.
ain't heard of that. She said these children done got so crafty, they stand up on the toilet and blow it up out of the towels.
I mean, that's how they used to smoke a lot of stuff in the girls' bathroom back in.
Let's keep moving.
Up, kind of like almost like a camera, okay? But it's sensing chemicals. Well, you youth are smart, and y'all start figuring out different ways to go around that. So the bathrooms have the pop-up ceiling tiles, so they get on the toilet, pop it up, and blow their smoke, blow their aerosol above the sensors. Okay? So this is for the adults to help you understand that these kids are addicted.
Yeah,
Okay? It is
addicted,
like crack
honey.
cocaine. It is like heroin. The
Addicted.
CDC literally said that, not me, not Stephanie. The CDC said that nicotine addiction is similar to crack and heroin addiction. These kids have a problem. It's not something they can just put down.
Crack and heroin, honey. It ain't something they can just put down, honey.
Facts. It's not.
Okay? They need help. So some other ways that they can sneak it in, and it could be right at your own kitchen table. They have these nicotine pouches.
Ew.
They also make these products look like other products, okay? So obviously this looks like not necessarily a can of dip, but it looks like icebreaker.
Yeah, that's what I was
You
gonna
have a
say.
grandparent that's raising a kid, and this specifically says coffee flavored. And plus, if they don't have their glasses on, they're not going to be able to see the fine print that it says nicotine pouches. They're going to think you have coffee flavored icebreakers. One pouch in here is equal to one cigarette, and you just literally put it in your lip. And this whole packet right here has 10, and it costs $4. $4. I don't know about here we are in Silicaga, right? We're good, that's right. Good water, Silicaga, right? I do know that in St. Clair County, these products are sold directly to youth. Do y'all know what the age is now that you have to be in order to purchase tobacco? 21. It's not 18 anymore. It raised about 2 years ago. They raised it from 18 to 21.
Okay, so listen. We're going to put the description of this into right here into the private chat because we want you guys to go and take a look at this for yourself. Don't just listen to us and think that we are here to try to control you and tell you what to do. We're just trying to give you some education because this is a us problem. When the children start getting addicted to things that they can't even control anymore, they can't control their addictions to things like this anymore, and they activity level go down, and they start acting out at school, then it's an us problem.
Most definitely.
So with that being said, my words of encouragement for tonight is definitely parents pay attention. Parents pay attention. Your child can either be the next Michelle Obama, or she could definitely end up in the realm of Miss Lola, aka Gangsta Boo. And we definitely, we don't want our youth to end up in a place where they're addicted to drugs. Like, no. Like, I'd never in my wildest dream thought about drugs in high school. Ever in life. Like, no. 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 We got to get back to being in these kids' business. Like, a lot of parents don't want, I just want to give them some privacy. Do you? Do you? Okay. Okay. With that being said, parents pay attention and make sure you talk to your children and you get educated on everything that's going on in this world as well. I don't want to hear, Oh, they so fast. I don't know nothing about this. Read, investigate, watch a video. So therefore, you can be ahead of the game as well. So your child can't get nothing past you. You got any words of encouragement, Sunshine?
My words of encouragement are, people, please gather some morals. That's all I'm saying. Stop worrying about what other people are doing in comparison to what you gonna do. Because in my world, they say they ain't gonna know, I'm gonna know. And it goes against who I am and what I stand for as a mother, as a woman, as a partner, as a person in general. Gain some morals, gain some values, and stand 10 toes and die on that hill. Because it is not cute out here in these streets doing half the things y'all is doing.
I agree. And with that being said, we will see you guys next time on another episode of Raw Emotions. We got some new things that we're going to be introducing into the live streams. So make sure y'all stay tuned. Go and follow Dab TV on TikTok. Follow The Truth About a Boss on YouTube. And you can also, in the description, get links to all of this where you can follow myself and Sunshine.
Yes, ma'am, yes, sir.
So with that being said, we will see you guys on the next episode.
Be safe.